So you'll have the engine sump right here. Now this one's a twin turbo, so it has the AN fitting on there. But usually that's just a drain plug just like this one. Now the dry sump one is over here towards the back. You can see the starter right here at the rear bumper of the car. Start with the dry sump first. Just an 8mm. Mine was seized on here pretty good, so I ended up using a breaker bar to help get it loose. And I just covered off the starter, just in case. Now I just let mine sit here and drip for about 10 minutes. What you didn't see is I made an absolute mess, so luckily the camera was not rolling at that time. The other thing I recommend is to change this washer. It's one of these copper washers. Now, I'm not going to change mine just because I want to get this job done. Dealerships are all closed because it's the weekend. I went by there and got what I thought was the right ones, but they just kind of ballparked me off the Huracan. I didn't really know what I was looking for, and they didn't really know either, so we got what we thought might work. It was the aluminum ones and they did not work, they did not fit. So I am just gonna go back with this one and we will swap it out during the next oil change. If your Gallardo is still stock, you're obviously gonna have 2 of these, and I will try to put each part number for those below. But seriously, don't reuse these if you can avoid it. Now we'll move up to the engine. You want to angle your catch pan, just because, I mean, regardless of whether you have one of these fitting, as you take this off, it's going to shoot out sideways, and then it's obviously going to dribble down. You can see it shoots out pretty far. Give yourself plenty of room to catch it. Just kind of moving this over out of the way because it was getting everywhere. Now, as far as how long you let all of this drip, you know, that's up to you. For me, this is an express oil, so I sit here and let mine drip for, I don't know, at least 30 minutes. I find other stuff to do while I'm waiting on that. These type of fittings, they do not need to be tightened that much. You basically put them on here hand tight, and then you don't tighten them much after that. Now, if you have the drain bolts though, these are, I believe, 45 Newton meters or about 25 foot-pounds. And then from here we'll move on to the oil filter. And then while you have the car up in the air, you might as well check everything out while you're already under here. You know, I had a couple areas that maybe had some grime or a little damp, you know, just want to check those out. Make sure everything's good. You might as well, since you're already under here. So the pros of having a twin turbo system is I don't have to deal with the oil filter that is usually sit right up in there. A little special wrench and stuff. Mine is right there. I am gonna have to cover all this stuff off to make sure that oil doesn't just get all over this though. So I've covered about as much as I can, and we're gonna try to see if we can get this off now. Big filter, big wrench. Well, even trying to plan, still made a huge mess. The bags I had kind of tipped when all the oil came shooting out, so I'm gonna spend the next 30 minutes cleaning all this up. So, future reference, I want to have a drain pan like over somewhere in this area. So these take about 10 liters. Fill-up procedure for this car is you add about 5 liters, turn the car on, run it for about a minute, turn it back off, and then begin adding the rest. I'm probably gonna fill 5, turn it on, run it for a minute, turn it back off, probably add about another 3, and then start checking it from there.